Finance Minister Ofori was in Parliament Wednesday to present the 2018 budget statement and economic policy of the 10-month-old Akufo-Addo administration. Among highlights, the Finance Minister touted several of what he says the government has achieved within the relatively short time and promised many more to come.
We would like to assure Ghanaians that the government of President Nana Akufo-Addo delivers on its promises. We promise to implement a free senior high school policy, and we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, with the little we inherited from the Mahama government, our performance these 10 months are indeed nothing less than a miracle. Nothing less than a miracle. As evidenced by the blessings and achievements I've just enumerated.
As expected, the majority side could only see all positives from the budget, while the minority, as usual, saw everything wrong with it and labeled it a 419 or Wahala budget. Amidst insinuations and catcalls, the two sides served enough notice that a bitter debate awaits the budget statement and no punches are to be pulled.
Certainly we are on track to getting there, okay, because we are basically drawn the 2018 budget in line with our manifesto commitment. You know that our manifesto was titled An Agenda for Jobs. So we used the first year 2017 to do fiscal consolidation and get stability in the economy. Now that we've gotten over that, we have to move full speed into the next phase of our development agenda, which is creating the jobs for the young people to do. And the only way that you can create jobs for the majority of the young people in this country is not through the formal sector. You know, it has to be through a Marshall Plan, and that's what we call the Builders Core, where certain critical areas of our national life like sanitation, agriculture, construction, etc. You know, we open up these areas widely to create the necessary jobs for the young people to come. So I'm very confident that in 2018, the young people of our country will see that there's a new lease of life and that their education has been.
The most dangerous promise, that the government is making now, is to find 100,000 jobs for new graduates under some new establishment, which they announced here today. And which they are putting under the ministry under the presidency, not under the Ministry of Employment, not under the Ministry of Education, but again under the presidency. I find it very dangerous. Already the presidency is the institution that has probably one of the highest budget provisions in the 2017 budget. We are yet to see exactly how much is going to be given for the presidency in the 2018 budget. But we remarked as the fact that even in the 2017 budget, the budget for the presidency was more than 3 times what had been the budget for the outgoing President Mahama's administration. So we wonder why it is that so much money is being put into the presidency. Such initiatives as Zongo development and sectoral development, all those are money that ought to go to district assemblies for them to implement their programs effectively at the regional and district level. So creating a multiple of agencies, a multitude of ministries or ministers, and giving them 100 million, 20 million, 30 million is really going to make it difficult for the well-established government agencies to have the budgets that they need to do their business. So and this NPP is struggling to, be able to bridge the gap between a lot of promises and a lot of under-delivery of the promises.
Today is another miraculous day. The victory of Akufo-Addo. He said that his battle was the Lord's. And we are still working with God. Our first budget, Asempa budget, brought good news. Even Kayaye, their levies were taken off. Abosiokai, they were very happy. And we've moved to almost 10, we are in the 11th month. And now, agenda for jobs that we promised Ghanaians. That is the budget for jobs, a Juma budget. That is what this is about. In Akan, you say Bosheba, Oshebo, Odiso. He said that he would deliver on free SHS. The free SHS, people of Ghana, is the key to our development. And for me, if Nanado doesn't do anything else, a free SHS succeeds, all girls will be in school, up to SHS. That means every son and daughter of Ghana will be in school. There is no educated woman whose child will not be in school. And when all children are in school, child labor will stop, child marriage will end, child prostitution will stop, and all the negative practices. Then, when you get educated, you are in a better position to get a job. And our youth who are crying for jobs, every minister has been tasked that every activity we are doing, we should create jobs. School feeding, currently we have created over 18,000, and we've agreed that we are going to scale up by 30%. So when you add that, we will get to about 20 to 30,000 jobs in only school feeding. And for the first time in the history of Ghana, all regional coordinators, all zonal coordinators are women. That is positive discrimination to empower our women. In the area of health, this nurses allowance. Now they call him President Alawa, teachers allowance. Children, students who were not getting an allowance. Look, when you don't have money, it's not easy. When you go as a nurse and something small that you eat is not coming, it's very, very difficult. So the nurses are happy, the teachers are happy. This planting for food and jobs is creating jobs for the farmers. And so he's also called President Free Fertilizer. The one district, one factory. We have started the process. The regional organization, we are doing it. The authorities, they have come. The one constituency, $1 million. You heard it. It's in the budget. The issue of education, not only at the school, primary and secondary, even at the tertiary level. The persons with disability. The issues that concern Ghanaians, turning the ports from the paper to paperless, this digital program, all the things that Nana Addo has said, NHIS, we have paid. People who said we have chopped all the meat and even the bone, we have chopped the marrow, they are crying about 419. They left a debt over 122 billion. It has never happened in the history of Ghana. And today they are the ones crying. The mistakes they made are, by the grace of God, what this budget and the Asempa budget are addressing. So that the governance of Ghana will be meaningful to you and I, the poor people. The leap affects the most vulnerable of people. And we are working on it to ensure that we make it moving away from the cash to trade, so that we give them a hand up. Nobody wants to be poor. Ghana is a blessed country. So people must learn to have pride in being Ghanaian. And that is what this budget is about. If your child goes to school, they should get a job. But everybody must take their time. We need to be tolerant. We can't all get jobs at once. This one will get small. If you haven't gotten a job yet, I beg you, don't be upset. Just be patient and wait for Nana Akufo-Addo, because his battle is the battle of Ghanaians. When he succeeds, Ghana has succeeded. When Ghana succeeds, Nana-Addo has succeeded. And this, as a part to a Juba budget, is what he promised. And he has delivered. Those who don't understand is because maybe somebody will say they don't think far.
What you are talking about in relation to revenue mobilization has been tried before by Dr. Dufo when he was finance minister, where young graduates, were engaged on temporary basis, and they were sent to the nook and cranny of this country to actually collect revenue taxes from small businesses that were not paying tax, and they were using GPS to locate these business entities. So it's not a new thing at all. So if they are talking about 100,000 jobs, my brother, what did they say in the 2017 budget? This budget of 2017, they said they were going to create 750,000 jobs through planting for food and jobs. How many of those jobs have been created? Why is it that this time around they haven't talked about the 750,000 jobs that they mentioned just last year? So it's all one way of deceptions, left, right, and center. Nothing is really happening. If the economy is really growing, ask yourself, has your pocket really improved, or it's getting worse? Or is it the case that they are creating the jobs for just they themselves, family and friends? Is it the case that the Nana-Addo-led administration is playing political football with the Ghanaian economy just for the benefit of his families and his friends? Clearly nothing is moving, nothing is happening. The economy is stagnant. If the economy is really moving the way they touted it, then it must reflect in the living standard of the Ghanaian, of the ordinary people. People talk about free SHS. Is that really what they told the Ghanaian people? What they told the Ghanaian people as in getting them free education, is it exactly what is being practiced, where only the first years are being catered for, and then the second and third years who are also in SHS are left out? No. They can't be real, they can't be true. And I'm so disappointed in the Nana-Addo-led administration. I think that they are taking us for a very big ride.
Youth unemployment is the biggest challenge we have in this country. Over the years, unemployment situation has compounded. So the government has decided to solve the problem by taking very drastic, comprehensive measures to solve unemployment. And one key immediate measure is the youth corps. We will have 100,000 young men and women who are graduates who have jobs. You do know that there cannot be peace with the young people or their families if their children don't have jobs. So the essence is to make sure that we just give hope to young people that Ghana is worth the country to live in. So this 100,000 youth job is a fulfillment of our parties and our government's promise to create jobs for the people. So we're excited about it, and we're going to implement to make sure that young people have hope in this country. Entrepreneurship is the key to jobs. Entrepreneurs create jobs. They make the wealth around the world. Realizing this, government has started to set up the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan under my ministry. And this plan is to provide financial support, business advice services to startups and young people with businesses. In this country, it's difficult to get money from the banks, where young people have brilliant ideas, but all the good ideas. So my ministry is there under the NEP program to support and provide business advisory services and startup funds to young people. This year we are training 5,500 people in business and services, and they want to create about 10,000 jobs for 2018 from our ministry alone. And subsequently scale up to 100,000. Within the next 4 years we want to create about 300,000 jobs for young people. We are excited. We think that young people are supported, and when they set up businesses, they can employ, they become promoted. The bottom line is to make sure that Ghanaians are better off in terms of livelihood. That's all we seek to do.
There are certain things that I'm a little bit disappointed. Let's be unaware and that the electricity, some of these are also challenges. If they become that hypocritical to say that they are those who have solved that problem, it's very unfortunate, because we all know in this country that President Mama and the NDC struggle and were able to fix it also before they handed over. Then also, yes, they have delivered the free SHS. But is that what we were expecting? Is that what was in their manifesto? If you look at their manifesto, they said every Ghanaian child will benefit, of school going age will benefit from the free SHS. Is that what you are saying? No. Now, some headmasters started to talk because they saw challenges. Now they are able to guide every headmaster in this country not to speak to the press, but things are not going well. Now, we all know that when we started secondary school, my parents were stark illiterate. My father was a fisherman, my mother was a fishmonger. We went to secondary school to go and learn how to use the catalog. We learned table manners, we learned siesta and all those things. Now, yes, when they said free SHS, we were all expecting something that when the children are going to improve upon their life, they are going to learn more to know how to live in society while they are learning the academic literature, letters and numeracy. We're going to learn all these things. But here is the case, children, even in the secondary school, are being served on the floor, on the ground. Children are living outside dormitories. It's going to bring pneumonia, it's going to bring malaria. Imagine female and males sleeping in the same open. Teenage pregnancy. So these are some of the challenges that we are talking about. But they didn't say it here. Or I will tell you, I'm implementing free SHS. What is the quality? The standard and quality of education has fallen so low. That is my worry. But in the books, we are implementing free SHS.